Hey everybody, in this chapter or in this video we're going to talk about chapter 6, La Naturaleza, which is all about nature. This is also the last chapter we're going to cover in Spanish 201. So La Naturaleza, they break it up into nature, animales, obviously animals, los fenómenos naturales, natural phenomenon, el medio ambiente. This means the environment. So you're going to see some things related to the environment and ways to help the environment. Then we're going to practice. You're going to see things about like biodiversity and coral reefs and things like that. The gang is going to hierve el agua. I forget what they're doing here. Probably something with a drone. Here we see things are heating up between Marcela and Ricardo. Will they end up together? You'll just have to keep watching. Vamos a ver. Los bosques del mar. The forests of the sea. And so this talks about los arrecifes de coral, coral reefs, which if you've never seen before, are these sort of living things under the sea where fish live and a lot of marine life. And here they're talking about in Cuba and La República Dominicana. They have a lot of these. If you ever get the chance to scuba dive or snorkel, you can see these things. They always forbid you to touch them because they're like living. You think of them as like rocks, but they're actually apparently like living things. So those are sort of interesting. I skipped that, but it's El Bosque Tropical, like a tropical forest or a tropical rainforest. This one in particular is El Yunque, which is in Puerto Rico, but a lot of South America is tropical rain. A lot of Central and South America is tropical rainforest, these really dense, humid, wet, well, I guess that's what humid means, forests where a lot of, species of animals and plants live. And so a big issue is like, when these countries cut down this rainforest for the economy, helps the economy, but it hurts wildlife. So it's kind of this catch-22. What do you do? In chapter 6, we're going to see the future. The future is how you express a will. And you may think, well, that's a really common expression. Why are we seeing this so late in our Spanish careers? That's because we've been using ir plus a plus infinitive, which is more like I'm going to do it. This is more like I will do it. They're almost the same, but I think this one's a little bit less common and a little bit more formal. The way you form the future is weird. It's easy, but it's weird. It's weird because you don't drop the AR, ER, or IR of the infinitive. You add your ending to the entire infinitive. For that reason, your endings are the same no matter what type of verb that you're using. As, a, hemos, and an. There are a few irregulars, which they've given you here. And a way that you can kind of remember these is this first box drops the E from the infinitive. This box, or this set, drops the E and adds a D. And then this one is just irregular. So the future tense are things that you will do. Have you ever heard that expression, que será, será? Whatever will be, será. The subjunctive and adverbial clauses. Okay, so the way I would do this section is look at these two boxes and know that they do two different things. Okay, so we're going to look at box number 1 first. So basically, we're trying to decide, do we use the subjunctive or something else? And so typically, when we do this, we look at que as our connector between the two causes. So all of these are sort of variations on that. They're different conjunctions. With these, as written, these are always going to use the subjunctive. Okay? As written, these use the subjunctive. Easy enough, right? One exception is if you remove que and use an infinitive after it, meaning an unconjugated verb, you wouldn't use the subjunctive, you use the infinitive. Okay? So for example, if I didn't say para que and I just used para, then I could use an infinitive, not the subjunctive. But as written, these always use the subjunctive. The exception is a menos que, always subjunctive. It will never have its que detached. Box number 2, the question you ask is, what comes before it? If what comes before it is a habit, something that you do routinely, then what comes after it will be indicative. So let's use cuando as an example. I'm going to put a